Thanks for joining our quarterly webcast. I'm Jürgen Kress, part of the Oracle Product Management team. In case you missed one of our webcasts, on-demand recordings are available at Oracle Video Hub, including presentation for download. For details, please see our newsletter. In today's presentation, Robbie Jones will update us on the latest Oracle Digital Assistant features. Good morning, Robbie.
Good evening, Jürgen. How are you today?
So welcome and thanks for attending from California.
My pleasure, of course.
What is the most exciting feature in the latest release for you?
Well, given that you're in Germany, I'm going to go with the OCI translation integration that our team has been working on, and I'm excited to show you a demo of that coming up here shortly.
So we can speak German?
Das ist true.
Dann kann ich auch Schwäbisch schwätzen.
Yeah,
I'm Swebian. That's a really hard dialect. No, I'm not. So objective of the call is to update you on the latest Oracle Digital Assistant functionality. And we host this webcast each quarter, so make sure you don't miss the next one. Quick housekeeping, today's session is live and this presentation is being recorded. Please feel free to post your questions via the conference Q&A tool in the Zoom console. At the end of the webcast, we will answer them. Slides and an on-demand webcast will be posted at Oracle Video Hub. We will post announcements and links in the conference chat, and please complete the online survey at the end of the webinar. We will present product roadmap information. Please pay attention to the Oracle Safe Harbor statement. Please do tweet and blog about products and services which are available today. For today's agenda, I will keep my announcements really quick to give Robbie time to present you the latest updates and also some demos. So let's get started. The one link you should subscribe is the Digital Assistant customer newsletter, and we publish the spring edition. In the newsletter, you will find best practices, events, and customer success stories. So please read the newsletter. One of the webcast series, which is available on demand, is the best practice webcast series, which helps you to build better bots. If you are working on a project, we highly recommend that you take a look. If you want to learn more about best practices in certain industries and use cases, please join our Success webcast series. The next one will take place July 25th, and we will invite Box Fusion to present us a use case around customer experience. Oracle offers a free tier for the cloud platform, which includes services like compute and storage. If you want to try the digital assistant, you can activate a free trial for 30 days. You can test the Oracle Digital Assistant, and we recommend that you use the documentation and the live labs to build your own proof of concept. So there is training material as part of the documentation for introduction and for different roles. If you have questions, you can always ask the digital assistant, and on the documentation page on the lower right, you'll find Arti, and Arti can tell you if he speaks German or Swebian. If you need help to implement your solution, you can look up a partner like Box Fusion in the UK, or you can search for a local certified partner in your region, and you can visit Cloud Marketplace. There you can search for solutions and skills built by Oracle and third party on top of the digital assistant. If you have further questions, you would like to get the latest updates, share your success or best practices, please join us on Cloud Customer Connect. So today's webcast is recorded and will be published at Oracle Video Hub. With that short introduction, over to you, Robbie.
Great. So just as a very quick and brief recap of what we've been working on. So do remember, please, that ODA, the Oracle Digital Assistant, is one of the products inside of Oracle Artificial Intelligence Services. It's listed here first because we came out first. So almost, trying to do the math here, 7 years ago. And in those last 7 years, we've been adding things like speech, language, vision, etc. Speech and language, those are pretty interesting because we're going to see some of the product announcements from this latest release, and some of the things that we've been working and integrating with those other AI services. For those folks that are used to things like Jupyter notebooks or running this on NVIDIA chipsets, all this is available to you in the Oracle Cloud infrastructure. But we do realize that there are a very large number of our customers that don't have data scientists and don't have the Jupyter notebook skill set. So for that, we've actually abstracted a lot of that work for you. So ordinary business users can train machine learning models. They can create basically machine learning applications without any coding. And we're going to see some examples of that coming up. If you remember what basically our definition of a digital assistant, what we see on the left-hand side, it's kind of a fancy definition, if you will. On the right-hand side, we actually see one running in action that's helping me do my HR tasks, and then maybe being able to switch from an HR task to maybe submitting an expense. But really what we're trying to say is that a digital assistant is an easy way to talk or type to an application or database, get answers, and do this through a conversational user interface. The conversational experience is pretty important these days. There's a number of reasons for that. One is I don't need to remember what application to log into, what form, what screen, what menu item, what button do I need to press when I want to go submit an expense report. So just being able to do this and say, hey, I want to submit an expense, doing that into something like an Alexa or my phone or the microphone built into my laptop. There's no specific mobile app I have to download or system I have to log into. These digital assistants are running 24 hours every day of the year. So basically it can save a lot of money on my call center staffing. And then the channels, this is interesting too. You remember things like Slack, Microsoft Teams, text messaging, Alexa, Siri, Google at Home, etc. Being able to use those to interact with my applications and databases. And the last reason that conversational experiences are important is there's no hold time. I can just chat with a digital assistant and get that answer. This is somewhat difficult to do. So we've been spending, as I said, over the last 7 years honing this, perfecting it, if you will. And just an example of some of the difficulties, if you look at this sentence, these two sentences here, at first glance, they kind of seem like the same. But once we peel back the onion, we start in trying to figure out, okay, what is the user trying to do and what are they trying to do it on? So what is the, if you will, what is the verb and what is the noun? Being able to figure this out, we start to realize, okay, one is actually seems more of a logistical and the other one seems more of a commercial question. So being able to do all this, we've built in to the product the deep neural network, the machine learning required for that. And I'm not going to go into all the stuff on the slide, but I do want to highlight some of the things such as the language service, the speech service, the insights, those are the analytics, the dialogue service. The reason I'm highlighting that is some of the product announcements for this quarter are enhancements and improvements and deeper integrations that we've done for you. So you don't need to go to your either data science team or go out and hire data scientists. Again, we've abstracted a lot of this work for you. So with that, for the quarter, the vast majority of our enhancements fall into these three categories. We want more natural conversations. In the first demo, we're going to see this is going to be more natural sounding conversation. So when you talk, when you use voice to ask a question, let's get back a voice that's not robotic, that sounds more natural. Some of the other enhancements here are going to basically allow you to more simply create a digital assistant, create a skill or a chatbot that's easier to interact with. And at the same time, it leads us into the third one, which is going to be the faster time to value. The quicker you can create this in an efficient manner, the quicker you can publish it, and the quicker that your user, more quickly your users can start using it. So with that, one of the first product announcements that we're excited to share with you is TTS, text-to-speech. This is an Oracle Cloud Infrastructure service, and we've now integrated that into the Oracle Digital Assistant. So when we ask a question, the voice that comes back is going to be more natural sounding. So what we see on the screen here is basically just using it as an example through the Web SDK. Remember, we've got a number of SDKs, so you can plug this into your iOS app, your Android app, your web app. And down here, we can say, okay, we want, I'm just going to point out Victoria here, and we want to control her pitch and rate, and we set those. And I think what I'll do here is just show you an example of this. And I want to show you the before and the after. So if we go, this is the Supremo, as you probably, as many of you are familiar with, a lot of the Oracle demos, we have this commercial website called Supremo, and what we've done here, and this is before we integrated with the OCI TTS, or text-to-speech. And notice, we'll engage here, I ordered an item online and it is missing.
I'm very sorry to hear that. Before we go ahead and process that, can I get some initial information? Can I get your first name?
I'm going to copy this string here. So again, this was the before. So this is just using either the operating system, in this case, it's the browser, but basically just using the native voice that's available through that. So what we've done is in a different version of that exact same demo. Now we're going to call the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure text-to-speech functionality. And we're going to use Victoria, and we saw that we set the rate to 1.2. I'll do that exact same demo. I'll turn.
Hi there, I'm Supremo, your Suprema Foods virtual assistant. How might I help you today?
And I'll just paste my string.
I'm very sorry to hear that. Before we go ahead and process your order, can I get some initial information? Can I get your first name?
Sure, it's Robbie.
And confirm your email address.
Robbie@oracle.com.
Please indicate the order with which you had a problem. Order placed on August 22nd for $30. Order placed on August.
It's the order from October.
Here is the summary of your order. Order placed on October 10th. Card 1. The Natural Confectionery Company Family Bag 200 grams - 260 grams. $2 each. This item was missing. Card 2. Supremo Foods Traditional Biscuits 12 pack. $2 per.
Okay, I think you get the idea there. Basically, again, if you remember back to one of the main things that we're trying to do, and this is true across all the releases, but get to more natural type conversations. In that case, more of a natural sounding interaction with the digital assistant. We just saw it in action. The next feature And Jürgen, this was the one that I was excited given that you are in Europe. So what we have done is a closer integration with Oracle Cloud Infrastructure in the language service. That group has come out with about 23, I believe it is, in this. Recently they came out, so you'll see things such as like simplified and traditional Chinese. One of the ones I want to point out here is Romanian and Greek. So now we don't have to call out to third-party translation services for those types of languages. So to put it another way, yesterday, or I should say last year, if you wanted to have a Greek chatbot, you had to use something like Google Translate or Microsoft. Now we can keep all that within Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. This is enhancing your security. Again, no need to send data outside of OCI to a third party. This helps for things like regulatory compliance and being able to ensuring that your data stays within the same tenancy. And it really helps allow, or I should say, it creates a consistent data privacy policy. So now you only have to use Oracle to do things like language translation. So let me show you an example of that. What we have here is a skill that basically is going to get weather information. And what we have under here is a resource, the resource bundles. And one that is, I just want to point out, we've entered in some strings for Greek, Romanian, just as an example. And if we actually go, let's actually try this out. So we'll preview. And we'll allow speaker. What is the temperature? Oh, let me try that again. What is the temperature in Athens in Celsius? So just out of the box in English, the default, it's detecting the city. It's also detecting the format of the temperature that I wanted in. If I leave either of those out, you saw on the previous screen, it will prompt me for those, but just to streamline this demo. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try it in, let's try it in Greek. And I'm going to copy this string here. Oh, I need to reset it because it still thinks I'm talking in English. And this is just the out of the box functionality. And you can see here it detected that we are conversing in Greek. So it's gone out, it's passed along that string to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, the translation service, and then it's brought back basically the representation of that, and then it calls out to our weather service and brings us back the string. And I will do this in Arabic. Now, if you noticed when we were looking at our resource bundles, I did not have one for Arabic. So in this case, it would, if I ask this in Arabic, it notices, okay, A, he didn't specify the format of the temperature, and B, we don't have a localized string for Arabic, so we'll do it in English. The third item that we're very excited about to announce, and this gets back to the key feature benefits, number 2 and 3, which is basically make more richful and enhance delightful chatbots and skills in digital systems, which basically, if you remember the third one, allows you to get to time to value more quickly, being able to create these more quickly. So that is what we're calling edible forms. So as you're well aware with our visual flow designer and being able to drag and drop and create the flow of a dialogue, you have things such as common responses. These are UI components, and one of them that's new is this editable form. So what it can do is you can have things like free-form text, you can have calendar pickers, time pickers, numbers, multi-selects, toggle buttons. I think one good example here would be maybe being able to enter in an expense report. So instead of trying to create a skill where it was prompting you for the the duration, the date, you could just pull up within the chat widget itself, pop up a calendar where the user can select the date for it. This allows the input of structured data without resorting to multiple conversational questions, as I just mentioned. And there's even validation there too. So before the user clicks on submit, making sure that they've entered in all the required fields. No longer do you need to create a custom component and write a web view to include, maybe those rich UI elements. This is all, we've built this all in there for you. So what I'll do here is I'll actually just show that to you in action. So we'll switch over to an expense skill I already have. And again, within the visual flow designer, we just have a very simple example. When a user says, I want to submit an expense, pull up the expense editable form. I'd like to enter an expense. So I can do things, car rental, the date of it was last week. I'm purposely going to leave the time out to end the amount, and I'll go ahead and submit it and note the validation. So again, imagine trying to do this without a rich UI. Another nice and important, especially to the security folks on this call, is a deeper integration we've done this quarter with what's called private access inside of Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Private access, if you're not familiar with this in OCI, basically what it's doing, it's allowing you, providing you a deeper level of security. The access, so what you see on the left-hand side is an on-premise. It's going to be a database or app. And on the right-hand side is OCI. So now you can have, you no longer need to, quote unquote, open a port in your firewall to allow this type of connections. Excuse me. Access can be from the host within your virtual cloud network directly to your on-premise network. And this is using either site-to-site VPN or Fast Connect. So now on the ODA side, we've done a bunch of work to allow this within the data services tab to allow ODA to call something over that. And what that looks like in ODA is what we're calling a private endpoint. So this is the ability for ODA to reach your apps that are not exposed to the public network. Again, for the security folks on the call, this is using either the Fast Connect or the VPN cloud services in OCI. The main point here on the screen is the very last one. So private endpoints allow ODA to be associated with your VCNs and not having, again, to go over a public network. Now, here we're seeing SQL dialogues. I wanted to remind everyone, so this has actually been out in a number of releases, but this is also a very powerful capability. It's generating what you're seeing here. What is the full name of each car maker and their models? So using ordinary spoken language, we're using generative AI to create the SQL that's required underneath the hoods. So you don't need to. So you don't need to go and figure out the SQL statement for that. You don't need to figure out all the intents. Another way to think of this is intentless skills. You can have these ad hoc conversations with your database. How it works is just using ordinary everyday language. It then goes out and creates an object representation of that. It's a natural language understanding, and then we generate SQL statement and go get the results for you. There'll be a link coming up here shortly, but we do have a number of tutorials, webinars, documentations, blogs, etc. on this new feature. It's very exciting. And I shouldn't say a new feature, it's been out in a couple of releases. I just wanted to remind everyone about it. So just a highlight of some of the other new features that we've been rolling out this quarter. We have enhanced the utterance testing. So now you can run test suites and break those down by results. That's what we're seeing up here in the upper left-hand corner. Below that, we've also done some work around machine learning entities and being able to enforce boundaries, preventing the model from replacing a previously extracted machine learning entity. And then on the right-hand side, enhanced insights. Remember, these are the analytics. So one of the neat things, and we've heard customers request this, and we've been diligently addressing that, and that is the ability to determine the number of actual unique users accessing a specific skill within a reporting period. That used to be a cumulative value, but now you can do that by unique users, and then being able to see if they're new users as well. So here I'm starting to wrap things up. This bit.ly/ODA doc, what's in blue here. Hopefully everyone's familiar with this screen. One of the nicest features in the lower right-hand corner is Artie, our digital assistant that's smart enough to know it's been trained on our documentation website. It's crawled it, if you will, so it's also been able to pick up on the tutorials, the best practices, webinars, etc. It has a very rich UI, so when you ask it, hey, show me a video on SQL dialogues, it'll come up and have thumbnails of the YouTube videos that have been posted. The next slide is actually, I should say that URL is actually on this next slide as well. Just some of the websites, there's a bunch here, but I do want to point out oracle.com/chatbots. So there you'll find information not only on the product and the architecture, but also how other customers are using it. I think one thing that I'm pretty excited about is our calls, our webinars, our interaction that we have with the group from the Customer Connect. Please do look forward to an email from them. July 20th, we will be having a session that's pretty exciting. Or I should say it's extremely exciting. The Oracle Digital Assistant Generative AI Features and Roadmap. So as you know, generative AI and the basically the large language model explosion, the LLM, the things like ChatGPT and Bard, they've been evolving with amazing speeds. And just, I want to say it's ridiculous, but in just the last 6 months alone, things are just growing at an incredible rate. We've been working in those even before that, but we've been integrating that into ODA, and there's some pretty amazing results that we're going to share with you. So in that session, we're going to show you how ODA makes them work well for a variety of enterprises and apps. And we're also going to talk about some of the current shortcomings in those LLMs and how we address those and help you mitigate them. I think the very last thing I wanted to remind you is time's running out to get to Las Vegas or attend virtually if you can't make it there in person. But do remember, we've got Cloud World coming up September 18th through 21st. Jürgen and myself will be there. It'd be great to meet you face to face. And then there'll be a bunch of, as typically is the case, a bunch of new exciting product announcements at that. And then there'll be some very interesting hands-on labs that we will be conducting, showing a lot of this new generative AI that's been built into the product. And I'm going to stop there and check and see if there are any questions. Jürgen, did you have anything else to share?
Yeah, Robbie, thank you very much. Thanks for the nice presentation and the excellent demos. So just let me add on the partner side some key resources. So if you are a partner, please register for our community. Then you receive an invite for a monthly webcast. You receive our partner newsletter, and you also get invited to hands-on trainings. So we do have a couple of questions.
Yes, I see them now.
So first question is from Herschel. He would like to know if Oracle Digital Assistant is integrated with Oracle Sales Cloud and CPQ tools, and if there is a skill available.
Any type of questions such as that one. So again, this is the bit.ly/ODA doc. So documentation page. Notice we have RD, and what I'll do is show me your out-of-the-box skills. There's a microphone issue. I'm going to show. Oh. Let's leave the typo in there. What are your out-of-the-box skills? RD is going back, searching its knowledge base, and it's, yes, that is a good answer. Let's know more about. So here are the pre-built skills. Notice sales is in there. There's also some, if I wanted to, you can actually remember what I said talking about earlier about rich UIs, being able to include a link. So in this case, I actually want to go there. Notice that we can have RD follow us to that page. And on this page, you would see down below the sales, the EPM, and the sales assistant. So again, just go to docs.oracle.com for ODA and use RD to get to this page.
Okay, wonderful. That was nice advice. Next question comes from Antenor. He would like to know if you can build in RT a confirmation form for an input. So the use case is you enter something as an end user, and then you, before you submit it, you get a confirmation page to do some editing.
Yes. Next question.
Next question.
Info on the generative AI session. Yes, that is look, or I should say, stay tuned, if you will. Look for a email coming that has not been, to the best of my knowledge, not been published yet, the registration page. So you will be receiving something from Oracle coming up.
Okay. Next question from Lara. She would like to know if we support Facebook Meta's an avatar in Metaverse.
And so I myself am not familiar with the integration methods of avatars in the metaverse, but I would strongly bet that they have some sort of REST endpoint. So using, it's possible, it's very easy to use ODA to call and receive calls from REST points over REST.
Okay, as
So-
we talk about Meta and Facebook, they also offer the WhatsApp service. Are there any news about the channel for Oracle Digital Assistant?
So yes, Facebook Messenger is one of the, and it was one of the very first channels that we developed for 7 years ago. So it is an out of the box, it's a first-class citizen in our world. But yes, deep, rich, and historically a long integration that we've had with Facebook Messenger. And I should add the Meta apps as well, things like WhatsApp. Also, deep, rich, historical, long integrations with those apps.
So for WhatsApp, previously we recommended third-party tools, and now you can directly connect WhatsApp through the new Meta API with Oracle Digital Assistant. And if you go to the Oracle Digital Assistant blog, there is an article from Leonardo which gives you some details in a demo.
Great plug for that blog. Yes, that's a great blog. Thanks for reminding me.
We would like to say thank you for attending. Please complete the online survey. And we are looking forward to see you at the next product update webcast, September 27th, and on July 20th for the generative AI webcast. Thank you very much, Robbie.
Herr Kress, tschüss.